Welcome back to St Michael's Church as we continue our exploration of English Christianity in 10 objects. Last time we looked at the Roman bricks which gave shape to the Anglo-Saxon windows in the first stone church on this site. Just below these windows, our eyes alight upon another ancient object with a remarkable role to play in our narrative. After the Roman bricks, this stone cross is the next oldest man-made object in St Michael's Church. Measuring 10 by 14 inches, it was made in the 8th century. A line of stone relief marks the edge of the cross, while inside a double line twists like a helix into the head, arms and foot. It is a simple and beautiful piece, shaded over the years by lines of grease where fingers have traced the stonework in wonder, boredom, or both. Interlaced decoration like this is often described as Celtic, Celtic being a catch-all word for the non-Germanic peoples who once inhabited the Highland regions to the west and north of Great Britain. Many early medieval works of Christian art with complex interweaving like this cross survive in Wales, Ireland and Scotland. There is something natural about these designs. They've been interpreted as reflecting harmony between the Celtic peoples and their land, an organic motif which has proved attractive to the ecologically minded in recent decades. The irony is that this cross does not come from the Celtic lands. It wasn't even fashioned in these islands. Rather, it hails from 8th century Italy. Interlaced work like this was an artistic commonplace across early medieval Europe, and even into the Near East, for example in Armenia. Despite the collapse of the Roman Empire in the 5th century, trade routes by land, and especially by sea, continued to transport goods and ideas across the continent. This included a wave of Christian missionaries from Italy to Britain in the decades before this cross was made. Notably, those missionaries were not told to antagonise the local population, but to seek points of connection through which they might share their beliefs and values. In the year 601, an abbot called Mellitus, the man who had become the first Bishop of London, was sent to Britain by Pope Gregory. Gregory advised Mellitus not to destroy the pagan temples that he found in Britain. Rather, he was to requisition them for worship of the true and living God. Gregory told Mellitus that, quote, "It's certainly impossible to eradicate all errors from obstinate minds at one strike. And whoever wishes to climb a mountain climbs gradually, step by step, and not in one leap." For this reason, former pagan sites were to become places of holy continuity. That is precisely what happened in Roman Verulam, as the basilica became a place of Christian worship. The style of this cross reminds us of the interweaving of ideas across cultures, as missionaries like Mellitus extended their influence in Britain. This cross reminds us that although we humans like to define ourselves against one another, we might have more in common than we think. English Christianity is part of a bigger whole. It is Christianity with an English twist, not a radically different institution in its own right. There is one final footnote to make about this early medieval cross. It wasn't brought here by Mellitus or his followers. Indeed, it only came to England from Italy in the 20th century. This brass plaque immediately below the cross explains that it was installed in St Michael's as a memorial to a local soldier who fell during the First World War. And this reinforces the point I have been making. Despite the sad fate of Lieutenant Philip Toulmin in France in 1917, the Great War was another instance of trans-European movement and exchange. Another instance of the process of cultural mixing which typifies the story of Christianity across the continent. As a World War memorial, this means the cross also poses a question about the relationship between Christians and warfare. But we'll come on to that topic in a later episode.